Jennifer Smith, is Iyo Sky versus Bayley a WrestleMania match that you thought would happen?
Well, yes. Actually, I think it's makes a lot of sense when you think about Damage Control and their history.
I think it can be really good, but I think it's a little weak for a current day women's championship match. But I think the story
Really?
will carry it. And well, on paper, you have Becky, you have Charlotte, you have Rhea, you have Bianca. You would think you would have them in a championship match, but these girls have done a good job to make it feel prestigious enough to kind of have a WrestleMania, a women's championship match. So, and when you first take a glance at it, you're like, maybe that's a little weak, but I'm not being a hater. I think
A
it'll be
little
good.
bit you are, but that's fine.
Just a tidbit.
Well, I
Jenny,
mean, when you
what's
think
it?
about Damage Control and their story and the things that have happened along the way, which you'll talk about, it's a good. I mean, maybe on paper it looks a little weak, but when you think about the build and how we got here, I think it makes total sense.
Yeah, perhaps, but we'll get there in a second. They have a marathon of a feud. But speaking of Jenny, what have you been up
Right.
to?
Oh, I've just been waiting on WrestleMania. I am going to the show both nights. Can't wait for Philly. So just been hyped for that.
All right, Jenny. This started back at SummerSlam 2022, where Bayley returned and aligned herself with Dakota Kai and Iyo Sky, formerly known as Iyo Shirai. They would go on to wreak havoc all the way up for the next year and a half or so. They would
Hmm.
add members along the way, including Asuka and Kairi Sane. Kairi Sane was exited from the WWE after a Bayley and Sasha beatdown way back during the pandemic. So when they brought back, Bayley was unaware of the Kairi Sane return. So she felt that perhaps her damage control group was cracking from within,
Hmm.
and her vulnerability as the leader was in jeopardy, and she was going to be dethroned from within. And then she messed around, fucked up, and won the Royal Rumble. And they just figured that she was going to go for Rhea Ripley. And Bayley was very sleek in her Rosetta Stone and learned Japanese overnight and caught on to these girls talking smack about her and belittling her and pretty much calling her stupid behind her back. And
Hmm.
the shades of darkness that was shown in the few months leading into this collision was said to be true. And Bayley did a good job of sniffing it out. I liked the angle where Bayley revealed that she was going to challenge Iyo Sky after the Royal Rumble, despite it feeling a little clunky and like I don't want to be mean or rude or whatever, but the performance was kind of lacking and the character work was kind of weak and whatever. But
You thought that the character work was weak on Bailey's side or
mm,
on all of
just
Damage?
kind of as a whole, I think Bayley was maybe hasn't put her babyface shoes on in a while, so
Mm,
maybe the sympathy card and the mannerisms of gaining sympathy and playing a babyface in peril perhaps didn't necessarily click. But of course, she broke those shoes in eventually and got there. But that initial night after the Royal Rumble where she announced Iyo Sky, I thought it was very clever. I just thought it was a bit of a miss. I thought some of the girls were maybe a little offbeat from the angle living up to the hype that it had, and I felt that they were off on a rough road right away. But I think they've kind of settled down since, Jenny.
okay.
Uh, so pretty much the match has been announced for 2 months now. I mean, Dakota Kai would return from injury, align herself briefly with Bayley, but it was a ruse to kind of
Mhm.
just show Bayley that she's vulnerable, dumb, and stupid. But another critique of mine is why would they let that cat out of the bag right away? Why wouldn't they, if Damage Control is playing Bayley again and still, and they're using Dakota, who is, Bayley's first in this group, why would they let that out of the bag a month before WrestleMania? Why wouldn't they let that out right at WrestleMania when they would use it to their advantage to retain their title and remain control the company, the group with the title and everything? So
Mhm.
that's where I'm just like, all right, that's a little wonky or whatever.
So you would have waited on Dakota turning on Bailey
Well, you
to
can't because they have a 6 women's match to fill in, so I
right.
understand why they didn't, but I'm just saying if we're gonna be smart about it and we're gonna do some deep writing, why wouldn't we just have them cling on where Bailey's still vulnerable and still loyal to her friend Dakota and doesn't fully wanna believe because she took a while to believe Iyo and Asuka and Kairi. She was vulnerable and it took a while to believe them, but Dakota, like, of course she's gonna hang on to Dakota. She's sympathetic. She's hurt. Her heart's broken. That the girls that she brought up to the WWE, Bayley's damage control thing was she wanted to bring up the women, but
Mhm.
Iyo was like, no, you wanted to surround yourself because your career was floundering, and we kicked
Mhm.
you out because you're no good anymore. So
Right.
that's pretty much the crux of it. I just see it as a whole, but I understand that they have a 6-man women's match they need to fill, and that's why they did it. So I don't know. I'm just being nitpicky, Jenny.
Okay, well, that's what we're here for, to knit the picks, to pick the knits. But I mean, I would disagree a little bit. I do think I like a heel Bailey more than a
Yeah.
babyface Bailey. But the way that this was done, it's a little bit of a retread of what Bailey's been through before. My best friends betrayed me. You know, she's been doing that since NXT. But I think this one is a little bit different because she started this team. She was leading them for, months and months. She
Well,
was
a year
building them
plus.
up. She helped make them champions.
Yep.
And her winning the Royal Rumble was only part of their plan, part of Bayley's plan to continue on, to continue to everyone in the group become champions.
Yep.
So, yeah, the turn, the girls turning on her it's not new. We're not
I know.
rewriting anything here, but I thought it was well done. I thought the turn was well done.
No, there was aspects of it that were well done. I'm just again nitting the pick. But then we find ourselves on SmackDown this week, and I love how Iyo, they're working to her strengths. They said she was in the PC. She's in a
Mhm.
standalone interview where the interviewer is behind her. She's speaking in her native tongue. They have the subtitles. I'm sure you love that as
I
someone
do.
who watches wrestling in subtitles,
I do. I do.
which is wild. Which
I
is
love
wild.
them speaking in their native tongue, and I don't mind reading the subtitles. I think it's a stronger promo if they don't
Well,
have to struggle, with another language.
well, absolutely. That's what I'm getting to. But I just want to allude to when you listen to Jerry the King Lawler and Michael Cole, you got the subtitles on.
I do. No lie.
But but yeah, I thought that was a great presentation. She looked fantastic. I like the green lighting, paying
Me too.
homage to
Yeah.
the green WrestleMania sign. I thought it was, beautifully lit. She looked
Mhm.
awesome. And I love how she finished her promo. And then when she said at the end that we were going to extinct Bayley because she was damaged goods, and that's
Right.
when Bayley had enough and kind of just sneaked attacked her. So it's like,
It was
okay,
a good
Bayley,
attack.
yeah, the vicious. Here's the thing, Jenny. This match is going to be absolutely awesome. I'm just
Yeah.
nitpicking the story,
I know.
but I thought it was working to their strengths. The subtitles were great. She looked fantastic, and I love that Bayley attacked her once she was triggered with her words. Remember,
Mhm.
she has Rosetta Stone, and she learned those words. I'm probably not even saying it right. Is it Rosetta Stone?
It's Rosetta, but, I know what you meant.
Rieta. It's come on.
Ros
In Boston, it's Rieta.
Rosetta. Alright.
Rosetta.
The
Oh, that's
Rosetta.
even
There you go.
Rosetta.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think they're finally finding their footing here, heading into the actual WrestleMania, and they're working to their strengths. I thought the beatdown looked fantastic, and Bayley is prime for a really big WrestleMania moment here. I think, Jenny.
I agree. I agree with all of that, yeah. Bayley can be a good babyface with maybe some edge to her because just she just got betrayed, you know? She
Hmm.
can have some edge to her and not be the complete babyface that maybe she used to be, right? When she
Yeah.
was a hugger.
Yeah, well, she's an adult now, so,
Right.
or yeah,
Right.
she's got. That's why I thought that the heel move in 2019 was warranted and why it worked so well. Also, started on her rough track, and when she found footing, it was a home run. So
Right.
I think that here, when she's a grown woman, as a character, as a baby face, I think it's going to be live up just to the heights that it should. And I'm really looking forward toward Bayley past WrestleMania 40 here and see if she can have that Bianca 2021 leap, that Becky 2019, 2018 leap, because she definitely has the skill set. She was just kind of used in that upper mid card gatekeeper role for the longest time here.
Right.
And I think she's set up well here, Jenny.
You don't think that maybe it's a little bit past the time for that to happen? Like, if it was gonna happen, it would have already happened?
Well, I don't think she was really necessarily ever put in the position to be for it to happen up top of
Mhm,
the card. Of
mhm.
course, in the pandemic, it was in the heel role.
Right.
and was a foil to Sasha, and I think as a foil, those two work better. But now, when she's alone, going through all the trials and tribulations, and she's been in the WWE for fucking 8 years, and she's
Yeah.
beloved.
Right.
So I think she's going to be set up really well. And those legacy jumps are made with moments. And
Mhm.
even though I kind of dogged this story a little bit, these girls are set up extremely well at WrestleMania 40. I think
They are.
to have a really good classic and be one of the top matches on this card. I truly believe it.
Yeah, I do too. I'm super excited to see this one live, and especially for Bayley's gear. She always seems to bring it when it comes to the WrestleMania gear.
Now, do you think we'll see wacky inflatable tubes at WrestleMania as a
No, I don't
callback?
think so. No, I don't think so. I think
Oh, you're
she's
not having
beyond
that,
it,
Jenny?
like you said. You know.
Oh, you're not a side ponytail kind of
No,
person,
no,
no?
no. Much prefer this grown up version of Bayley.
Nah, I hear you. I'm with you on that for sure. All right, Jenny. Out of 10, how excited are you for this match?
This is the 8. Very
8?
excited. Yeah. I
That's
mean, this
greatly
is
excited.
women's wrestling on the biggest stage. Can't get much better than this.
For sure. I'm a little more excited for the Rhea and Becky side of things here,
Yeah,
but I
definitely.
would say I'm 6.5 for this. I think they've done a decent job getting me there. Of course, like I said, I've been nitpicky, but we picked those Knicks. All right, Jenny, who's winning this match?
I gotta give it to Bayley. I think, like you said, she's on the upswing. Um, Iyo can do other things. She's had the title for a bit,
Since
and
SummerSlam. Yeah.
yeah, I just to me it seems so obvious that Bayley's going to win. And of
Okay.
course, as I say that, I'll probably be wrong.
Every WrestleMania, there's an obvious that doesn't go our way.
Right.
Well, hopefully it's not this one. I really like Iyo Sky. I think she's fantastic in ring. When they work to her strengths, she's extremely good.
Yes.
But I think it's Bayley's time, and I think she's earned it. And I want to see what's next for her once she's coming out of this big moment or whatever. She's earned this for sure.
She has. But certain female wrestler who's injured now comes back, you know, that might be some interesting things there too for Bayley.
Don't fuck around and fall in love with Bayley because we have allegiances here, all right?
Yeah. I do. I'm not in love. I'm a Charlotte girl.
Flirt. We can lust, no love. Lust
Yeah,
for
right.
Bayley, no love. All
Yeah.
right. Where do you see this? What night do you see this?
This feels like a night 1 match to me.
Oh, really? I'm on the other side. It feels like a night 2 match to me.
Really? You're really better at determining that sort of thing than I am.
My only
Mid,
reasoning,
kind of mid-show vibes for me.
yeah, I was thinking mid-show on night 2. The only reason I say that is because it's easier for me because I think Becky and Rhea are night 1 in like the semi-main spot,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
right before the Rock match, so they let those girls go out there and have the Charlotte Rhea spot last year. And
Mhm.
I think that these girls would have the Asuka and Bianca match spot from last year. That's the only reason why I think that.
Okay.
Well, last year we previewed Rhea and Charlotte, and it was an
Oh,
all-time top 20 WrestleMania match. So we
fucking
can only
banger.
wish good luck to these girls here.
Right. We're gonna bring them luck and in our preview.
All right, Jenny, where can we find you?
I am all across the North South Connection, but especially you can find me on Wednesdays with all of my shows and across all social at Jenny Position.
All right, Jenny. Well, it was great to have you. And I'm sure
Thanks
we'll
for
have to
having
get you back on when Bayley is facing Charlotte at maybe SummerSlam. What do you think?
Perhaps. We'll see.
All right, Jenny. It was great as always. Talk to you soon.
Bye.